Well, everybody, Troy from the wet and snowy do-it-yourself world and the off-grid project. First time I've grabbed the camera today. Had some friends come over and help me move the stove into the sugar shack, and it was snowing when they helped me at that time, and I have been working on the computer besides that because it is snowing out and I don't really have a lot of desire to be out in that right now. And I've got to finish some work on the computer, and the wedding venue we had planned is scratched, so I'm trying to find somewhere. Most places won't even talk to you in New York unless you have massively large parties, so it's very hard to find a small venue for a small group. So I'm inside doing research and computer work and web work today while these gigantic and thick falling fluffy flakes come down, and that's pretty much it. I'm going to keep on working on the computer, and tomorrow will be a new day. We'll see what comes. If something interesting comes up that is camera worthy, I will grab it and I will keep you up to date. Meanwhile, enjoy the pretty snow. Well, it's pretty. I've got to come out and sweep the solar panels, but I won't be doing any outdoor recording today due to this heavy, wet stuff falling on my camera. The trees are white and looking quite pretty again, with the big giant fluffy flakes falling on them. But what's not so pretty is the whiteness of my solar panels and zero power. So I've got to clean them off. Well, that was about as useful as trying to stop a river with a drinking glass. Well, no solar today. That's how it's going to be. We're back to the dark ages today. Well, the batteries got some power, so I'll be able to get my videos going today. But not very much. Look at that. Not until it stops snowing. Well, there's a train track through my property. Regardless of the heavy snow, I am still working anyway. At least on the sugar shack a little bit. These are the tracks that my smoker made on a very exhausting path through the forest, where I lost half the bolts and screws holding it together and didn't know it at the time until the thing fell in two pieces. And that was an adventure, trying to get it the rest of the way without half its screws. It was fun, but I managed, and I got it through the woods. It was on the far side of the tiny house, and I just started on this side of the tiny house when I turned on the camera. Somewhere along this path is a mess of screws, but anyway. Oh, I see some theories that this is all fake because I was working wearing boat shoes. Well, it's just comfortable. It's not actually cold out right now, so I'm not wearing boots. Why should I make my feet sweat? At least breathe nicely, that's why I wear them. So here's the sugar shack. Snow load on the roof. Not much, but it's starting. And I've got the smoker in here and cleaned it out and cleaned it off. I'm going to put that up on either on a pallet with, no, I don't want pallets in here. The problem is with pallets, the leaves will get in there and then the rodents will get in that. But I'll put it up on cement blocks or something. I've got to get it up high and get it stabilized so it doesn't rust on the ground. and actually higher up will be easier to work on the grill side of it. So I've got it propped together with a couple screws. I'm going to have to find some screws to fit it and put it back together. But there's my big old beast of a commercial sized smoker. Well, they call it a commercial Brinkman smoker. I think it's Brinkman. Yes. Anyway, there's that. And in this corner, weighing in at 500 pounds, is the wood stove. That is going to be my maple syrup evaporator. And as you can see by the white filth in the ground and the pile of ash over here that's already under the snow, I've been cleaning it out. It's got a nice wood tray. I can't believe how good a condition everything's still in, considering it was sitting outside for who knows how long. And it's in pretty decent shape. I also noticed it's a Sears brand furnace, wood-fired house furnace with thermostat control. It was a nice thing in its day. The reason it's not ever going to be a household furnace again is because it was dented up. When my friend got it, for whatever reason he got it from the scrap metal yard, he bought this for scrap metal price back in the day. A forklift picked it up and not so gently put it onto his truck. So that was the damage done by that forklift back in the day. And it's pretty rugged because I was struggling, like I said, to get it through the forest alone, and it fell over 3 times on me and rolled. And believe it or not a single of the fire breaks has moved, fallen out of place, or got damaged. I also managed to free up the door down here, which works nicely. It wasn't really rusted up, it was just jammed up from all the ash that was so thick in there. That's that. And then everything's in place. The grates are in place, the 2 grates, they're in good shape. All the fire bricks are in good shape, and they're held in very well. No damage, even though this tumbled and turned and flopped and rolled down the hill a couple times. So it's going to be a perfect stove for boiling maple sap. Very, very good. Very good. So I am going to be taking it says wood circulator. Burn wood or wood products only. Operate only with door closed. Okay, fine. Wood circulator. Okay, I've got to get it on bricks. I'm going to get that up on bricks or blocks. Probably cement blocks, so it's high enough off the ground so it'll never rust from the bottom up. And then I will start cutting. I'm going to take the top heat shield off, and then I'll have to cut through the top of the stove itself to fit the stainless steel pans that I have. Now everybody keeps saying, why don't you just put the pans on top? Well, it's the same as everybody knows what heat shielding is, at least a lot of people do. And if you have a piece of metal between, well, basically I would have 2 pieces of metal between the fire and the sap, which would reduce efficiency, and I'd have to burn way, 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 way more and longer in order to boil that sap off. You want to have maximum heat transfer into that sap and boil it off. In all my studies online, you've never ever will find, not that I've seen, a maple syrup evaporator where the flames aren't licking at the bottom of the pan directly. Take, for example, a gas-powered cook stove in the house and put a pan on top, and then put a pot inside that pan and see how long it takes to boil a pot of water, as compared to letting the flames lick at the bottom of that first pot that's holding the water, and you'll see the difference. And now worse is if you take and this is the situation I would have here, take a non-perfectly flat bottom pot and put it on an induction stove or a one of those ceramic type or electric stoves, and you're going to have horrible heat transfer. If the bottom isn't perfectly flat, you're going to have horrible heat transfer. And that's the issue here. The stove is old, the top is probably not perfectly flat, the pans are used, the bottoms are not flat, and I won't have much point of contact with the top of the stove, and I would have terrible heat transfer, and it would never boil off. So that's why I have to cut into this. And again, it's seen better days, it's had better life. It was at the scrap yard for whatever reason when my friend got it. And I'm guessing it wasn't in bad shape when he got it until they used the forklift on it and damaged it. Anyway, It is getting pretty rough to use that two-wheeled cart out here now, so I won't be bringing cement blocks out today like I had originally planned. I thought I'd have this up on blocks today and be boiling maple sap, maybe even by the end of today, but I did not see this coming. I did not foresee this. But here I am in the sugar shack that I built, or I'm building, and look at the snow piling up in that rafter. So here I am high and dry in the sugar shack that I'm building, and it's a very gentle, quiet, peaceful snow coming down. I'm half tempted to sit a chair out here and just have a cup of tea and enjoy my work. It's beautiful right now. It's so peaceful. I wish Melanie was here right now. This is the type of snow I was telling her about right now. So pretty. The fluffy flakes coming down. I hope that shows up. I don't see it on the camera. But it's so pretty and fluffy. So gentle. Let me see if I can zoom in up behind a tree. Big fluffy flakes coming down slowly. Anyway, it's so peaceful today. And the snow has an insulating quality, so it's not at all cold. I'm very comfortable standing here. Anyway, here I am inside my sugar shack. Plenty of room between the two, exactly as I had intended. Plenty of room. If I decide I need to, I can pull that back away from the wall even further, but I think 3 foot is more than enough with the heat shielding on that. And there's not going to be any open flame inside my sugar shack. A lot of people are worried about open flame. No open flame. I think people don't comprehend exactly what I'm doing. So please don't attack me and send the fire department out here until after you've seen what I'm doing. Well, don't send them anyway. Well, maybe. I haven't met them yet, so go ahead. Let me know and I'll get the coffee ready. But, yeah, this is going to go through the wall. The exhaust pipe is going through the wall, in and out. And it'll be vented just like a normal household stove. And with this thing, in this case, I'm going to go straight out the wall because there's no need to heat this room. That's not the purpose of that. So that'll be exhausted right through the middle of this wall. So I'm going to build up some 2x4 framing and reinforce that wall up and down and all around. And put a thimble in there and some heat shielding on it. And put that pipe right outside. And put it out and put a cap on it. And then hopefully within the next day or so I'll have this thing burning. And then the smoker has space. I've got room to walk in and to work in. And the smoker has space too as well. I have plenty of space. That's about 2.5 feet from the wall. I can move it another foot later if I decide I need to. Plenty of room on all sides here. And I have considered people's comments that the roof might not be strong enough to hold the snow load. I don't think it's going to be an issue, but just for fun, I might just take a barnwood beam and put it across here, all the way across this dead center of this thing, just to go contacting every one of my rafters, and then put a big old post coming dead center in the place, straight down to the floor. And then I can hang pots and pans and utensils and all kinds of junk on that. That'll be sort of cool. So, anyway, thanks for all the comments and the ideas. Got me thinking. Well, it's time for a cup of tea. I've had my coffee for the day. Now it's time for a cup of tea. If anything is noteworthy, I will come out with a camera and do some recording. Otherwise, I'll talk to you guys later. Enjoy the beauty. I don't know why, but there's rumors going around that I recorded my sugar shack construction long ago because the leaves are crunchy. Leaves are crunchy. No matter what time of year, no matter what the weather. Leaves are crunchy. So, I'm not lying. I'm not faking this. This is real. And this is happening. Leaves are fluffy. See? And they're going to remain so. Always. It's down deeper where all the water sinks, where they're wet and where they get not so crunchy. Even after a rain, you can come out the next day and the leaves are going to be crunchy on top. And the ground underneath has been extremely wet, extremely soft, and extremely sloppy the last few days. My car isn't even parked up by the house. I can't get the car to the house because it's so sloppy and so muddy. So anyway, nope, this is real. This is the real deal. You're seeing a video about a day after it happens. So talk to you all in a while.